Basketball is a sport followed and loved by millions all over the world, and every now and then a player comes along that seems absolutely fictional. They redefine the game and create an entirely new era of basketball. But of course, they do it standing on the shoulders of giants. Stay tuned, as in this video, we're about to count down the NBA's most influential players. Just a reminder about our new giveaway. We're giving away a PS5 with a copy of NBA 2K22 and Madden 22. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple. First, we have Wilt Chamberlain. Speaking of giants, Wilt Chamberlain is known as the NBA's original dominance big man before other players came along. Wilt was so dominant on the court that he once scored 100 points in a single game. Yes, you heard that right. 100 points in a single game. And that's not all. In one game, he had 50 rebounds. With how the game has evolved, there's no one in the league who can get 100 points or 50 rebounds in a single game now. So how did Wilt Chamberlain do the impossible? The answer is simple. He was a giant. Chamberlain was perhaps the tallest player in the league at that time, measuring in over 2 meters. Most of the time, he didn't even have to jump to rebound the ball. Wilt has been criticized for playing in an era when the game was full of short guys, but we don't agree. We think Wilt would have been a dominant player in any era. Up next, Jerry West. Imagine being so influential that you're literally the logo of the NBA. If you didn't know before, now you do. Jerry West is literally the logo of the NBA. When it comes to the top-ranking shooting guards of all time, Jerry West easily secures a spot among the top 5 of all time. He was just so elegant and silky with the ball. It used to seem as if he was almost walking on air when he moved up and down the court. He could easily cut through defenses and make exceptional plays. Jerry West was truly a shooting guard without any noticeable flaws. The only thing people have to hold against the NBA legend is that despite appearing in 9 NBA finals, he was only able to win 1. Modern generation Lakers fans know West for a heroic front desk executive who was once the best GM in the league. Jerry West will always be an influence on the NBA. Now we have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem retired at the age of 42 in 1989. It's been 33 years since the NBA legend retired, and still, no one's been able to break his record of over 38,000 points. He must have been a really strong and dominant player, right? Nope, Kareem wasn't exactly the biggest or strongest player in the league, but he possessed a weapon no one had an answer to: the sky hook. To this date, we have not seen a shot so perfect and unstoppable like the sky hook. Kareem would just hook the ball with a feathery touch, and it would go in every single time. He could do it whenever and wherever he wanted. And if we're talking about the most accomplished player in general, Kareem is without a doubt number 1, considering his achievements in college and as a professional NBA player. Most NBA players are done in their late 30s. There's fresh blood in the league to stop them, and they're not as fast and reactive as they once were. But even today, no one knows how to stop that sky hook. In fact, that shot was the very reason he spent so long in the league. Talk about longevity. Up next, Magic Johnson. Magic easily goes down as one of the best players to ever step foot on a basketball court. And when we talk about his influence, it isn't just limited to the world of basketball. Magic Johnson is in general one of the most influential athletes in the world. He was the original superstar of the NBA before the GOAT took over, but he still goes down as the greatest point guard of all time. When Magic retired, he was labeled as the best passer and playmaker ever. What made Magic so special was his size. He wasn't exactly like your typical point guard. What do we mean by that? Well, point guards are naturally a little smaller in size because they rely on their speed to create openings and plays. Magic, on the other hand, was 6'9", making him a large point guard. But he still changed the game because of his playmaking and utter dominance on the court. Magic was, and is without a doubt, one of the most impactful players the NBA has ever seen. Next, we have Shaquille O'Neal. In his prime, Shaq was just a scary monster. The NBA has never had a physical force like Shaq. He controlled the game in whatever way he wanted. Shaq once brought down the whole basket when he dunked the ball with maybe a mere 20% of his inhuman power. And at that time, teams just had no answer for him. Shaq was a funny guy, though. Even if you put 3 players in to guard him, he'd find a way to the basket and put a show on for fans. But he was absolutely terrible at making free throws with no one guarding him. Even his own teammates would giggle when Shaq ended up at the free throw line. Nevertheless, Shaq easily tops the list for most dominant players in the NBA. He's won 4 NBA championships and 3 consecutive MVP awards. But his influence comes from his ability to add value to nearly anything he does. Shaq's shoe brand that provides top-notch kicks at an affordable price is an example of that. Apart from that, Shaq is always involved in some charitable causes, making him a true gift to the world. Shaq won at basketball, and now he's winning the hearts of people. Next on the list, Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson is one of those players you just can't hate. Even if you're not a big fan of the 76ers, we're sure you're a fan of Iverson. He was just lethal. His crossovers could break the ankles of even the best defenders in the NBA. If you ask us, it was probably his personality that gave him influence. Iverson had a lot of charisma. He was respected by everyone on the court and off it too. Even the coaches respected him. He single-handedly carried the city of Philadelphia to the NBA Finals. He was a player that left his heart and soul on the basketball court every single time he played. Even in terms of skill, his scoring ability was just plain out undeniable. And while Iverson had a really big impact on the game of basketball, most of his influence came off the court. Iverson's just really authentic. He showed everyone how you could stay true to yourself in your character and style, and everyone loves him for that. Now, we have LeBron James. LeBron James is the only basketballer on this list who's still actively playing in the NBA. And when we talk about influence, forget basketball, James is one of the most influential people on planet Earth. In really simple words, LeBron James has control. He has control over pretty much everything going on in the team or the organization. He chooses who plays. He chooses who to trade and who to keep. He even chooses who's going to be the coach of the team. LeBron realized the influence he had and took his career into his own hands. And it's not like he doesn't deserve that respect or control. Along with being the most hyped player in the NBA, he has 4 championships, enough to have influence all over the world. His off-court success and character is another reason why LeBron is so influential. He's also one of the best scorers the game has ever seen. He's at number 3 in terms of most points scored in the NBA. Up next, Kobe Bryant. Most people didn't realize the reach and influence Kobe had until he tragically passed away in 2020. Even people who never heard about the game of basketball knew who Kobe was. The style in which he played the game was the most beautiful we've ever seen. Everything was just so effortless. But what really made him stand out was his Mamba mentality. Kobe used to outwork everyone. Players would wake up early in the morning at 6 a.m. to get a head start and train. But as soon as they entered the gym, they would find Kobe sweating, having already completed his training. He took the game to a whole other level. He's regarded as the modern-day Michael Jordan for this era. He's won 5 NBA championships and has had unforgettable moments on the court. Off the court, Kobe was always a likable person because of his kind personality and calm character. Kobe will always go down as one of the greatest and most influential basketball players to play the game. And now, we have Michael Jordan. You guessed it, we just had to save the GOAT for last. Michael Jordan is the NBA's one and only rock star. He's like the Muhammad Ali of the NBA. Even if you went to the furthest desert or island in the middle of the ocean, people would know who Michael Jordan is. He had swagger, he had personality, and he had control. But it wasn't just his swagger or personality that gave him control or influence. It was the success he achieved as an athlete. He was unbeatable. He'd create imaginary scenarios in his head to get himself angry and kill the opposition. He's won 6 NBA championships and has the most number of individual awards. The NBA will never see a player as influential and dominant as Michael Jordan. He is without a doubt the greatest of all time. Hey, that's a wrap for today's video. Thanks for watching.